So here's a review that I've personally been looking forward to for a while, which is showcasing Marvel Legends Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil as he's shown in the Disney Plus series that came out this year in 2025. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a while. I've wanted this figure since the show came out. They showcased the showcase figure reveal for this back in April or March when Daredevil Born Again came out. And I was like, ooh, I really want that for my collection. Unfortunately, I was waiting for it to drop in the stores to sort of collect it that way. But either I would always just miss out on it or it never hit the stores based on where I live here in Anaheim. So eventually, and once I saw Amazon online, they didn't have any either. I was like, all right, I'll do the dreaded eBay way, which I actually got a decent deal for it, all things considered. So here it is, and I have it. What helps is that, what was interesting is that I already have the Punisher one that went along with this set. You had one from Punisher for that show, but now here's Daredevil as he appears in Daredevil Born Again. See, the packaging is the, standard kind of Marvel Legends packaging, that nice rectangle box. Got a nice look at Daredevil right here in his Disney Plus suit. Got the logo from Daredevil Born Again. Got some more art. Let's show the side first right here. Nice art of Daredevil logo on the top. And some more art, the same art you see on the side of Daredevil with his description. What kind of lawyer is Matt Murdock? A really good one. Ace attorney by day, Matt Murdock pursues justice for those who cannot achieve it themselves. Very nice. I actually have the Punisher box that came with it, or came in the same series for Punisher from Daredevil Born Again, and then the Daredevil right here in the back. The artwork, same kind of nice, gritty, almost graffiti type aesthetic. I don't know what exactly you'd call it, but it looks nice for both sides for both. And then I do have the Punisher already out of its packaging. There's a review for that one if you want to check it out. But yeah, same kind of box you would get for both. But yeah, just super looking forward to this one. Daredevil is one of my favorite superheroes. I've loved the TV shows, the TV version we've had over the last decade. So that made this a can't miss opportunity to pick up. So I'm going to get it out of its packaging and then we'll take a closer look at this guy. All right, I have Daredevil out of his box. The box is super simple to open. I probably could have just shown it on camera, where you just pull this back and then the tape just nicely comes out. You can just slide it right out. That's what's nice about these modern day Marvel Legends boxes. They're super easy to take open, and so you don't have to like rip it apart. So you can save the box for storage or whatever else you want to use it for. So I'll be saving that. One last look at the box right there before we focus on the actual figure. So here's Daredevil, still in the plastic protection that he comes in. Got a set of hands, his club nunchucks, and then also something else that I knew about this before I had gotten it. I'd seen promos for it and other people post about it. It's like a flexible wire type thing that you can use, connect to the nunchucks, do some cool poses where it's Daredevil fighting bad guys, or kind of a swinging display. We did see that in the opening. I remember the opening of the Disney Plus series where he was using his clubs to do his classic comic book style swinging. So that's nice. We'll showcase that later. Let's get Daredevil out. It doesn't look like he has any tape restricting him, so that's nice. Makes it super simple and easy to come out of there. Pull out Mr. Murdock. Alright, I'll put this to the side for now. And finally, oh man, I've wanted this for a while now. But finally got him right here. Good old Daredevil. Get my camera to focus. There we go. Alright, perfect. So here's Daredevil from Born Again. Oh, the way it just looks is just perfect. I mean, that's just straight up out of the show in terms of some of the costume, just the feel, just the face. I think the only Netflix or TV Daredevil over the last decade that they've had in toy form, it was a Marvel Legends from years ago, but if you look at it, now it's a pretty dated version that's not the best, like in terms of sculpt. This one, sculpt-wise, is just amazing. The face, I mean, that looks like that Matt Murdock, that actor, Charlie Cox. That is just perfect. And how he looks in the show for season season two of, not season two, for Daredevil Born Again, he had kind of a bearded look, so that is accurate to how the show had him, just the bearded look that he went with. And then the suit, which was different from the suit, the primary Daredevil suit he wore in the Netflix shows, whether it was Daredevil or the Defenders. This is an updated suit. You're going to see another suit for him with the new show, with the new season of Born Again coming out next year. He's going to be wearing a blackened suit. That's a comic accurate type thing, one of the suits he wore. But this suit, perfect for how it looks in the show. Articulations, about what you would expect in terms of plenty of arm movement. Some pivot right here in the shoulder area. Same on that side, obviously. Showcase the head first. The head, actually the head feels a little stiff. It can't really go up and down that much. Yeah, the head's actually surprisingly can't really go up all that much, or maybe it's just kind of stiff. I'm not sure, but it's not really moving too much, nor do I want to force it or anything. And the torso, oh wow, the torso is very interesting. It feels like, it looks like there would be torso movement, but there actually isn't. I don't know if that's actually really weird. It can turn a little bit to the side, but in terms of like bending backwards, it's either my figure is weirdly stiff or it just doesn't have any. I'm going to lean towards it doesn't have any, because that feels really just stuck in its ways right there. That's very interesting, that the fact that it doesn't have torso movement. I'm not sure how to feel about that right now. Go down the legs, what you'd expect, knees, bending, that kind of stuff for your foot. Can't really bend too much upwards, but part of the boot just gets caught in that. That's okay, I guess, but it can go good amount the other way. No real ankle pivot. That actually would have been nice for some, oh, there you go. Can turn it kind of that way. So if you want to give them a nice kind of side pose. Yeah, I would have been surprised if it didn't kind of have some kind of pivot right there to really give it some nice, kind of ninja type poses and that kind of thing. So overall, the articulation's what you would expect. The one interesting thing is just no bending movement right here in the chest torso below the chest. That's very surprising. Not a huge deal breaker though. It would have been nice to have, unfortunately. So this is very cool. Again, that sculpt is just perfect, and if you can look and see just the actual like detail on the suit itself, if I can focus in a little bit, there we go. The actual detail on the suit, you can see kind of the texture that's on it. So it's just not, like a crisp, flat, whatever color or surface. So that's nice, because that's how the suit actually looks like in the show. So that's very nice in terms of showcasing the basic features of Daredevil. Zoom onto him a little bit better. Yeah, it looks good. Very nice. So now I gotta show off the other features he comes with that I showed in the packaging. So got the extra set of hands he can use for different reasons. An open hand, this is a closed fist. His two clubs and the wire for the clubs. So the hands he's got right now, these are the hands, my camera will focus. These are the hands that he would use to just hold the clubs basic style. So we'll take those out first, his clubs. There's just some tape around them that you gotta just squeeze it out. There you go. Didn't want to bend it the wrong way. So his basic clubs, Daredevil doesn't exactly, I guess, have Batman's budget when it comes to gadgets. This is his primary weapon. Stick them in right here. I always found it to be a weird, somewhat underwhelming weapon choice that he has, but still love Daredevil. Just slide in through this hand right here. Fits in perfectly, nice and firm. So there you go with his classic clubs without the wire. So your basic poses you would do like that when he's fighting Bullseye or whatever other criminals you want to have. So cool like that. Just your basic poses and things like that. You can definitely do some cooler stuff when you got the actual wire in, and I'll showcase that. Before I do that though, the nice thing is that it does have weapon storage on the side right here. You can just slide it in right here. I think you want to go that way. And then there's a nice something on the bottom that keeps it from sliding all the way down. I'm not sure if it would even anyway with this silver piece, but that's something else that helps. Slide it in on the side right there. So perfect weapon storage for his actual weapons. Slides on the side very nicely. I don't think there would be anywhere though to just store this the wire that it has. So it's either you have the wire on or you don't. I don't think there's a natural way to, just like clip it on his side or something. That's okay though. So we have those, but I'm gonna take them out so we can put the actual wire in and showcase that. So there's just some tape around the actual wire. It's a pretty good length, so do some interesting poses with this one. This other piece of tape. Come on, don't make me look stupid more than I already am. Well, let's take it out like this and slide it out. There we go. There's the wire. It's bent in the interesting Z-like shape, but you should be able to bend it out of that. Not too, it seems pretty stuck from what I've seen. From the pictures I've seen, this is supposed to be a very flexible type wire, although it's bending back into, kind of its default shape more than I would have expected. Maybe it's just been bent for too long. But you see, like, it's kind of stuck like this. I'm trying to get it to where it's going more like that, or like kind of getting rid of this bend, but not really doing so too much. I don't know if those pictures that I saw were kind of false advertising, because yeah, it's not bending the way I would have expected or preferred it to. Can't really focus on it right now anyway. There we go. But yeah, that's pretty stuck. So it looks like it's actually just stuck in that shape. That's actually surprising and a bit disappointing. I would have thought, based on what I've seen, it would have been a bit more flexible, because it's not really from what I see. But let's get the clubs in there. So they would go in through this way. You just stick it in the little port, jam it in there. That feels pretty secure. That's not bad. Doesn't really feel like it's going to come out. And so you could do that on the other one too. It goes through this way. Stick it in there. And that mostly feels pretty secure. So as far as your pose goes, I think what you would want to do is, this should be the end. Yeah, so this would be the end where he's like holding it from. I think that would make more sense. You put it through like this, and the wire's coming out. I mean, I feel like I'm pushing it as far as it can go, and it's just not coming out. Yeah, see, it came out again. And there's too much weight on the other side. So far, this whole wire club thing isn't quite what I was hoping or would have expected. So like that. So what I'm thinking, kind of the pose I wanted to do, where he's like this. All right, like that. But then something where he's kind of like flinging it at you, if that makes sense, if you can see it, and then the wire's coming out. So far, this whole thing's been quite a bit of a fail when it comes to the wire not really having a lot of bend to its shape, and so far, it not sticking in all that well. I'm gonna try like this, and I'll just showcase him holding it in his other hand. He's jump roping. So there you go. That's how Matt Murdock gets his exercise, with a little on-the-fly, heavy-duty battle jump rope that he has. Would like to show off some more dynamic poses. Really like to just showcase the figure if my camera would focus. Come on. Whatever. I mean, that's okay. I think the big problem is that this just doesn't bend like at all. I was expecting more of a flexible wire, because as it is, you're just kind of stuck. Maybe it's better if he's holding it from this end. But that doesn't look like that great of a pose, because unless this can do some other bending, this isn't going to work. Maybe it can bend more like right here. Not the most exciting part of the video, but I want to see if I can get it looking kind of cool. Because right now, yeah, this will just be a bit more of an issue. So I might have to showcase more of that some other time. Because right now, from what I'm showcasing it on the fly, it's just not really working all that well. Try it one more time. Jam it in there. And again, it just doesn't feel like it wants to go in all that much. So maybe I can give him like a Catwoman whip type pose. I mean, that's not really what Daredevil does with this thing. Yeah, that's actually okay. It's not the worst pose. Not quite how I intend to display him though. So yeah, there's kind of the features of the actual wire. Yeah, you see that actually the good thing about that's actually staying in place pretty well right there. So if you have, the problem is you have to have enough space to display it like that, and I plan on having him in a kind of crowded area. So it might not work out the best having him like that, but there's some stuff you could do with a wire. At least I got him in some kind of action pose, although the wiring thing is a bit disappointing. Just wish it would have been more flexible. But this, yeah, that pose actually didn't look too bad. That was okay. So let me get rid of this wire, and we'll just showcase one with the clubs. Again, he comes with other stuff. He comes with another set of hands. I guess I'll just show that real quick. He's got an open hand, and then he's got a fist. So, you know, this would he wouldn't be able to hold either club with these. So you have to make a choice one way or the other. I think I would just prefer the two semi-closed ones so he can actually hold his weapons. I think that's just better. So I'm not going to showcase these right now. We'll put this wire to the side. And that's basically all the features that he comes with. Love the sculpt. Parts of the weapon can be okay. So far, this whole wire thing, not the best, I would say. So, but Daredevil naturally wouldn't come with a bunch of accessories anyway. I know there's a Marvel Legends figure that's I think from the No Way Home series, where it's just Matt Murdock when he appeared as a lawyer for Peter Parker. I don't have that one, so if you want to actually have like the actual Matt Murdock head, you would have to get that figure. So there's Daredevil by himself, but as I like to do, let me get him straightened up a bit better. With the clubs. There we go. Alright, so as of course is natural to do, you want to do some size comparisons to show this off. The most natural one to do, one you have to do, and I teased it earlier, is him next to his born-again buddy, the Punisher, Frank Castle, which came in the same born-again Marvel Legends line, him and Daredevil. They were the only ones that came from that series. They could have done another one, like the Muse character. Would have been cool to have Wilson Fisk also, but having Punisher is better than nothing. These two were teamed up like this at the end of the series. It was really cool to have the Punisher back, him and Matt together after they met and dealt with each other in season 2 of Daredevil, which was all the way back in 2016. It's cool to have those two together again. You see they go perfectly together. Naturally, the scale is great. You can replicate that battle where they're teaming up, Deadpool and Wolverine style, up against Wilson Fisk's forces. So that's a great comparison and scale, naturally, as it should be. There's him with the Punisher. Then something else, and this would be really cool to have all three of these guys together. And push him to the side. Push Matt to the middle. I'm going to showcase Daredevil and the Punisher. I just got to get this ready. Along with another Marvel Legends, and that's next to Marvel Legends Spider-Man from No Way Home, his integrated suit. You talk about a dream scenario to have all three of these guys together. Oh man, now that would be cool. Spider-Man's met Daredevil through No Way Home. No Way Home, not as Daredevil, but he met Matt Murdock in one of those scenes towards the beginning of No Way Home when Peter meets Matt. That was pretty cool. Haven't seen these two meet together as their superhero counterparts. We are going to see Spider-Man meet the Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The Punisher is going to be appearing in that one. That'll be amazing to see. I mean, these are New York's finest when it comes to the Marvel Universe, as far as your street-level heroes for Spider-Man, Daredevil, and the Punisher. It'd be really cool if somehow you could get all three of them in one shot in some kind of Marvel media, whether in the MCU, whether it's TV, or the actual movies. That'd be really cool to see, as we see the connection through all three, through interactions with various characters and who's met who very nicely. Having all three together, though, now that would be pretty sick. You see, this scale looks amazing. So I think this is perfect between Spider-Man and Daredevil. Daredevil should be a bit taller than Spidey. This is just... God, this looks so perfect. That's the first I've had these guys, well, obviously because of unpacking Daredevil, of the display together. That looks very nice. That's really cool. Come on, Disney, make it happen in terms of Disney and Sony. I think Disney would do this in a heartbeat. It's up to Sony whether or not, they'll allow for Spidey to be part of whatever Marvel project where all three of these guys are together. But that would be amazing to see all of them teamed up against the Kingpin. So there's your perfect dynamic right there. Another fun comparison to show off, and this one is Two Perfects. If anyone remembers why this would work, you have Daredevil from Daredevil Born Again next to She-Hulk from the TV series She-Hulk. If you've seen She-Hulk and you remember that show, and then I know it didn't get the best reception from some fans, but Daredevil, he appeared in She-Hulk. That was his second appearance after the Netflix show in the Marvel Studios proper project after No Way Home. He was in She-Hulk just a year later in that series, where he teamed up with Jen Walters' She-Hulk in a kind of a weird mission. She-Hulk was kind of a weird show. But this is, he teamed up as Daredevil. Now, he wasn't wearing this suit. He was wearing his yellow and gold suit. But, you still have Daredevil, She-Hulk. Pretty cool to have these together. I'm not sure this scale... She-Hulk, I think, should be a bit taller, though. So this scale isn't perfect, although at least... she is taller than him. But that's a cool display to have together. That's naturally what I thought about when having this. It's like, oh, I've got a She-Hulk also. So you could have some nice steamy action between these two together. It was a fun episode, those two together. Probably won't ever see that again, but it was cool to see Daredevil make an appearance in that show. Again, scale-wise, this should probably be like... I'd say about right here, I would say. But at least it's, at least it's tall enough. See, Matt, he got real busy. He didn't screw around with her. Well, they fought together as She-Hulk, but when the fighting was done, he had a little fun after all that action. He deserved it. Matt needed some fun after that. So there's those two together. That's a fun comparison. Another comparison I thought would be appropriate is here's Daredevil next to Marvel Legends Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. The reason I thought this would be appropriate is because I remember when I got this, you got your two costumed heroes right there. The reason I thought this would be appropriate, I remember when I got this, I'm all like, this one from Deadpool and Wolverine, this Wolverine, it did have kind of a Daredevil type feel in terms of the mask and the look of the textures. I'm not sure if it's really coming across on camera, but the textures as far as Wolverine's suit, I'm like, oh, that has kind of a Daredevil type feel. Even though now when I look at them close together, it is a different texture, but it is that same thing where it's the same, basic kind of look as far as your masked characters showing the mouth part of their face, wearing a textured kind of suit, and actually a perfect modern version, cinematic version of their classic comic book costumes. So it shows that you can make comic book costumes work for movies. You know, you just obviously have to update things, make it texturally look cool, and you can make things look like how they should from the comics. So that was a comparison I wanted to showcase between these two. Actually, I remember thinking when I saw this, I'm like, is this basically the same figure base as this one? Which in some ways it does kind of look like it in the chest area, torso, maybe. I'm sure maybe the base was used for it, but thankfully it's not just, you know, this one is its own thing as far as the textures and actually looking like Daredevil. They didn't just slap a Daredevil costume or red on this Wolverine and call it Daredevil, thankfully. So that was nice. So that was the last comparison I want to show off. Actually, I lied. I have one more comparison. I got this a few months ago. I don't think I've posted a video on it yet, to be determined once I opened it. But here's Daredevil next to Daredevil, but from the Figaro Backclip series. I got this a few months ago at a Hot Topic, one of those blind bag things where you get a character at random, or a version or a back clip at random or whatever. And this is him in that actual yellow and red suit I was talking about from She-Hulk, his original costume he wore in the 60s. So there's a comparison between a back clip of Daredevil and actual Daredevil. Showcase that one more time. And there you have it. So this was very cool to have. I'm a big fan of the TV series of Daredevil. When I saw that they had figures based on this, oh man, I just had to have it. So it's got the basic stuff you would need from a figure like this. It's fun for displays. This whole thing with the wire, not the best, not quite what I was expecting. Maybe I'll try to fiddle with it, and maybe I can do a follow-up on it in a later video where I can make it a bit better. But it's got the basic things you need from a Daredevil figure, and that's what matters. So I was happy to have it. Would have liked to have gotten it in the store and not have to eBay it, but I was kind of tired of waiting. I'd waited months for it, and I got it. So I would recommend it if you're a fan of Daredevil and want to complete your collection. You won't regret it if you do get it. So that'll do it for this review of Marvel Legends Daredevil from Daredevil Born Again. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.